Digital technology powers our world. And if you work in the technology arena, your job is to use it to create value for your organization. Maybe you're in analytics and you're aiming to reinvent how the company gathers customer sentiment. Or you might be in the game of defending your organization from cyber threats. Regardless of your mission, digital technology is at the core. But we have to be careful in how we adopt it. We can't look at any piece of technology as a silver bullet. We can't let ourselves fall in love. As a digital leader, you need to always think from a systems perspective. Remember, everything has an impact on everything else, especially on culture and the lives of individual people. So in today's episode, we'll upgrade your mindset to look at technology with a more critical eye. All right, let's do this. Welcome to the Rising Digital Leaders Show. I am your host, Matthew Doan. Today's organizations are powered by digital capabilities, cloud, data science, cybersecurity, and much more. To be competitive, we must have tech-savvy leaders steering the ships. But these people don't come out of thin air. We must develop them. This show is for the technical experts of the world, those brave souls that feel unheard and lost in the crowd, but know they were born to lead. We need you to rise, to become impactful digital leaders. In these episodes, we help you undergo a self-transformation, developing the mindset and skill set that'll massively enhance your abilities, influence, and career potential. We take a different approach, pulling in lessons from philosophy, psychology, neuroscience, and history to enrich the professional and personal aspects of your life. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the Rising Digital Leaders Show. Now, let's dig in. Does technology really make life better? This simple yet profound question is something we usually fail to ask. Whether in a business or home setting, we observe trends influenced by clever and powerful marketing, and we deem them as inevitable. Moreover, we're convinced they'll improve our lives. For those that grew up in IT, we were indoctrinated into this mentality. Experiencing painful symptoms? Great, we'll get more tools. Technology will fix it. Damn the consequences. Yeah, that's what I grew up with too. There's always a new wave of AI, smart devices, or something else. When we see something shiny and new, we feel compelled to adopt these technologies because that's just how it is. But what if our mindset is wrong? What if blind adoption of the inevitable is doing more harm than good? That's exactly what cultural critic Neil Postman addressed in his 1998 talk, 5 Things We Need to Know About Technological Change. You see, one of the main points is that change happens on the inside. Henry David Thoreau once said, "Our inventions are nothing more than improved means to an unimproved end." As humans, we have a lot of enduring challenges that will never go away, no matter what technology we bring. The funny thing about experiencing technological change is that it feels so external. We see something happening out there in the world, and we feel subjugated by these worldly forces. They guide our earthly experience. Rarely, however, do we examine what happens in our own minds. We fail to grasp the aftermath of a new technology and what it could do to us. So in this speech that I talked about from Postman, he smacks us upside the head with 5 eye-opening points. Whether you're formally tasked with leading a technology organization or you're simply an everyday consumer, I'd like you to take these 5 messages to heart. The whole idea is we need to have our eyes wide open on technological change. Postman began his speech by emphasizing how there's no escaping ourselves. The human condition has persisted for thousands and thousands of years, and there's no technology that will change that. In light of the unfolding information age in 1998, he conveyed the following ideas. I'll give you a rundown. Idea number 1. Culture always pays a price for technology. The reality is that every advantage has a corresponding disadvantage. The greater the technological wonder, the greater the negative consequences. Think for a moment about the automobile industry. Yes, it gave us mobility, and it has choked our skies. Look at climate change. So a key question with this is, what will a technology undo? Rather than asking ourselves, what good will a technology do? We need to think about what it takes away from our world too. Idea number 2, there are always winners and losers in technological change. Reality is that some people gain, some lose, and a few remain the same. An example would be how the internet saves companies money while also hurting a child's social development. Yes, they can get online and interact with other people, but look at the distraction cost. Look how they're glued to screens. So a key question here is, who will the technology favor and who will it harm? 2 critical questions. Idea number 3 from Postman. Every technology has a philosophy. Every technology has 2 or 3 powerful ideas, often hidden from view. The cultural impact of a technology usually only becomes apparent over time, after it's gone mainstream. Technologies actually change how people use their minds. Just think about your life, if you can go this far back, before the iPhone and after the iPhone. It's a lot different. There's also the idea that what is being communicated is actually less important than the medium being used. There's an example here with how every technology has a philosophy. Think of the printed word. It created this emphasis a long time ago on the eye rather than the ear. For millennia before the printed word, humans long relied upon oral cultures. We told stories to one another over campfires and passed that along from generation to generation. And over time, as the printed word came about, which is a technology, we started focusing more on our eyes over our ears. Idea number 4, technological change is not additive. It is ecological. A new medium does not add something. It changes everything. Most technological changes are vast and irreversible. One example, going back to the smartphone, is that it changed how we interacted with one another. It changed how we used free time. Another example is around the creators of the standardized test. That invention changed education forever, fundamentally altering the meaning of what it is to learn. We didn't think about learning for its own sake. We thought about learning for the sake of passing a standardized test. Idea number 5 from Postman then, technologies tend to become mythic. Certain technologies become so popular that they seem God-given, part of the natural order of things. When a technology reaches mythic status, it's not easily susceptible to modification or control. Think of examples like cars, planes, television, movies, the internet. All of these, once they were invented, seems like they were destined to take place, and we accept that story. So thinking about Postman's overall comments here, one of his summary recommendations is to view technological change as a strange intruder. It's interesting. You think about the 5 ideas. 1 is that culture always pays a price for technology. Number 2 is that there are always winners and losers in technological change. Number 3, every technology has a philosophy. Number 4, technological change is not additive, it's ecological. And lastly, number 5, technologies tend to become mythic. I know this can be a lot to absorb, but within your organization, I want you to think deeply about when you're purchasing, adopting, tuning technologies. Are they inevitable? What's your philosophy? What are they going to do to the people around you, to your end users, your customers, your stakeholders, your own team? It has a lot of effects. We need to step back and think about all this. So I want you to be skeptical. Evaluate new technologies. Don't just take them all in because that's what all your competitors are doing, or that's because what the vendor is knocking on your door about. Take the time to understand the impacts it'll have on your organization or your personal life. Proceed with caution. Don't just give in to the trends. Remember, you only have so much time on this beautiful planet, whether at work or at home. So choose your technologies wisely. Don't let them choose you. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll chat soon. This is your host, Matthew Doan. Thank you for listening to the Rising Digital Leaders Show. Again, my mission is to help you elevate your career as a digital leader and live a thriving life. I hope this episode sparks new thinking and helps you take meaningful action in your world. If you enjoyed the experience, I'd be so grateful if you subscribed and left a 5-star review. That's it for now. Until next time, my friends, stay virtuous.